Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of my podcast. Today's podcast is titled You Are What You Eat. And as usual, I'm going to start this podcast off with a quote. Our food should be our medicine, and our medicine should be our food. And that's a quote by Hippocrates. Hippocrates, yeah, my bad. Eyes are a little bit blurry. I know it's another podcast about eating right, eating healthy, and stuff like that. But I'm not on here to give you, you know, recommendations or do typically what most people do, get in your face, tell you're not eating right, and you need to be eating right. We all know that we need to be eating right, and if you're not eating right, it comes down to either your lifestyle, or just simply because you just don't eat right, like you don't have that desire to eat right. But at the end of the day, like, the same thing that we've discussed and that we've talked about, how your external environment is a product of your internal situation, how you're set up internally. That goes for our characteristics and our foundation, our ethics and our morals. And it also goes for our physical body as well. If your internal environment is, you know, just gross, for lack of a better word, then you're going to be sluggish, you're going to be lethargic, you're going to be have a low energy level, you're not going to be able to be your best you. So the approach that I'm coming from, as far as you are what you eat, is that we need to be cognizant of what we're putting in our body, because that is going to help us to interact and to thrive in the world. And there's a bunch of health benefits that come with it. I'm not going to talk about that in this podcast because you already know. The overweight versus, losing weight, and the problem with obesity that we have in America. And, you already know. You hear it in the news, you hear it in the media, and I'm sure you've heard it over and over throughout your life. But this is just, more so just brushing over the subject, because it is a part of being a better you. You do have to eat well in order to be your best self. There's, like, for me, I'm just gonna go off what I do on a daily basis, or what I attempt to do, because nobody's perfect. I try to do intermittent fasting every single day, and sometimes it's longer some days, sometimes it's shorter some days, but I try to practice intermittent fasting. Now, I'm not saying that intermittent fasting is for everybody. I'm not saying that intermittent fasting is the golden rule or the end all. I'm just saying it's something that I practice. It's something that I've researched into, and it's something that I like and I think is beneficial. I try to eat at least just once a day, for the main part. I try to drink a lot of water. I'll make sure that when I eat once a day, it's a lot of fruits or vegetables. I try to break my fast clean. Does that always happen? No. Sometimes I might eat chicken or rice, or something else. But even within that, there's things that I eat outside of fruits and vegetables and water and stuff like that, obviously. But I try to limit those as well, to what I eat. I only eat certain meats. I don't eat all meat. And I only eat certain things. I don't eat everything, but it's what works for me. It doesn't have to be your way of life. I'm not advocating for intermittent fasting. I'm just saying that you should have not a diet, because a diet means that you're doing it for a certain period of time, but you should have a way of life that you practice that makes you exhibit some type of discipline or some type of structure to the way you're eating, as opposed to just mindlessly consuming calories, empty calories, and things that just aren't good for us, good for ourselves, good for our bodies, because it affects us. It definitely does affect us. And I don't know if you, the person that's listening to this and the audience, has ever tried any type of diet and then they've strayed away from that diet, but once you do, you could definitely feel a difference. Once you start eating a certain way and living a certain way, and then you stray off that path and go to the opposite, you feel it. You feel a difference. You definitely feel a difference. So I would encourage that you find some type of way of life, some type of structured meal plan, or something. I'm straying away from the word diet because I don't want it to be temporary. I want it to be ongoing. I want it to be something that you participate in daily. Something that will benefit you. There's tons and tons and tons of different type of meal plans or lifestyles that you can embark in. There's like the ketogenic diet, that's really big right now. um there's a ton. I mean, I couldn't even name them all, but there's a ton of diets out there. They're built for different body compositions. They're different, built for different type of lifestyles. There's vegetarian, there's vegan, there's, I mean, you can even have an all meat diet. And I mean, it just depends on you and the lifestyle that you want to live, the health benefits that you're trying to obtain, and the lifestyle that you want to live overall. There's pluses and minuses for each one. So, I mean, don't get too bogged down with the information you hear, because I'm pretty sure if you look up anything, you're going to find pluses and minuses if you dig hard enough. Nothing's going to be 100%, this is the best way that you should eat. Because lifestyles around eating are very situational. The reason that we have buddies and friends that can, eat whatever they want to and not gain a pound, but you look at yourself and you just look at a piece of pizza or look at a piece of cake and you already, feel like you gained 2 or 3 pounds, is because our body chemistry is different. Fundamentally, we're different. So you have to find the lifestyle that's appropriate for you, the lifestyle that gives you the desired results that you want, and the lifestyle that helps you to lead the healthiest life that you could possibly lead. You are what you eat is a statement that's clearly evident in how food influences the way people feel, their moods and emotions, how people sleep at night and interact with others, and also our energy. Has an effect on our energy levels throughout the day. This is why some people talk about hangry, or they get grumpy at a certain hour, or people throughout the workday will feel lazy and they're like, oh, I need a, not lazy, I'm sorry, lethargic, and they'll feel like they need an energy drink or something like that. It's all about consuming not only the right foods, but the right type of foods. Like, instead of consuming, when you're tired, instead of consuming something sweet, you might want to eat like some fruits or vegetables, something that, or maybe like some peanut butter on some celery, something that is, beneficial nutrient wise. Cake is just a bunch of sugar and just things that are not beneficial for you. I'm trying to stray away from going into the whole calories and nutrients and vitamins debate, because I'm not trying to, make this podcast about numbers and stuff like that. You can do all of that research on your own. I'm just trying to get out to you the importance of putting the right things in your body, just like how you need to put the right type of music in your body, just like you need to read the right type of books, just like you need to, have the right type of self-talk in your body or in your mind. It's the same thing when it comes to eating. You need to put the right type of food in your body. And if you don't, just like if you don't put the right type of those other things in your body, you're going to see that you're not going to be able to be the best you. You're not going to be able to perform at your best, and you're not going to be able to, just exist as the best you as possible. If you look at athletes, any type of athletes, football, soccer, track, whatever sport, all the Olympians, they all have dietitians, or they all have people that tell them what they need to eat, how often they need to eat. It's, they don't just eat. They have a structure to the way that they eat. And the best athletes are the most disciplined. And it's throughout, disciplined through all the little things. But one of the things that all athletes are disciplined in is the way that they eat. You got to watch what you put in your body. Um, when you look at cars, I'm just trying to give as many examples so that, because I learned through examples of comparison, so hopefully that aid you in your learning process as well. When you look at cars, NASCARs and Formula One cars don't use the same type of gas that an everyday car uses because they're expected to perform at a higher standard. You know, so if it's like that with athletes and it's like that with vehicles, your body is a vehicle. You burn calories just like a car burns gas. So you need to put the right fuel in your body so that you'll be able to, use that energy the right way so you can get the best bang for your buck. Instead of putting a bunch of empty calories in your body and things that are just gonna, go to this body part and hide away in your cells and store. You need to be putting stuff in your body that burns or that you can use to burn fat. Eating well is fundamental to good health and well-being. Eating well can reduce the onset of disease, inflammation, and have an effect on your vitality overall. I know that you've heard that before. Again, I'm not trying to beat the dead horse. I'm just trying to pass on some information. Um, Eating well is just fundamentally important. I haven't been in school in a long time, but I know when I was in school, it's something that it was really harped on. Was the diets that kids were eating. Um, I've seen studies that have been completed that says that it's very important that kids get a lot of vitamins and nutrients when they're young because that aids in the development of their brains. Um, Also because they're growing and stuff like that, the right type of nutrients and vitamins in their food help them to achieve their peak potential, like their peak height or their peak strength and stuff like that. Um, it's just important that we eat the right food. I can't say it enough. Um, a lot of us look to medicine and the doctors, and when we get sick and when we don't feel well, a lot of the issues that we have. I'm not saying all of the issues, and I'm not at all advocating just stop going to the doctor and just go towards this type of lifestyle. But a lot of the issues that we have could be solved by us changing the way that we eat. Instead of drinking soda or alcoholic beverages and stuff like that, if we put that to the side and we just drink more water, maybe juices instead of soda, it would make a huge difference in our lives. I gave up soda many, many years ago. I can't remember the last time I drank a soda. And now it's to the point that when I drink a soda, it feels like I'm drinking acid. Like it's so I don't know the word. It just burns. Like I can hard. It's not even enjoyable for me anymore. Um, and even with juices, like some juices, like when I drink them, like you could taste how much sugar, like just the abundance of like syrup is in the content of the juice. It's like I said, it's just funny how when you cut certain things out and you just have a stricter diet, when you mess up, I've messed up, I'm not perfect. When you mess up, slip up, and go back to eating that type of stuff, maybe for a day or whatever, a barbecue, a birthday party or whatever, how you don't enjoy it as much as you used to. Same thing with fast food. I don't eat fast food the way that I used to. When I was younger, I used to eat everything because I believe that if you worked out hard, then you can eat whatever you want to because you're burning off the calories. Um, as I started getting older and doing research and stuff like that, and my metabolism started slowing down, I started finding out that that wasn't the case. I was still working out hard, but I was still gaining weight in the wrong places. I was feeling kind of lethargic. My energy level was kind of wavering throughout the day depending on what I ate. So I started looking more into it, and I found out, that the things that we eat, regardless of how we work out, definitely has an impact and an effect on our body. So I started cutting out fast food, cutting out a lot of fried food, things that just are unhealthy. And unhealthy by my definition. That's not your definition of healthy, unhealthy. You have to create your own definition based on the lifestyle that you want to live. But I cut out a lot of sweets, sugary things, um, just things that I don't think are beneficial, that I don't need in my life. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect by any means, because I'm definitely not. But I'm trying, and that's what counts, is the attempt. That every day and every way you're trying to be a better you. And this is just another part of the web that we always discuss, how everything is interconnected, and everything is linked to everything. This is just another part of that. This is just another piece of the puzzle. Sometimes it gets hard to understand what healthy means. There are basic health commandments that we should follow, but at the end of the day, we are all different and our bodies require different things. This is what I was talking about body chemistry and composition and stuff like that. And also depends on, ethnically where, your family was from and stuff like that. Because, based on where we live, or, you know, what we're comprised of, like your mother and father, it depends on the type of eating habit we should have. I don't know if I worded that right, but basically, based on where you live, your region of the world, where your family's from, depends on the type of way we should eat. You know what I'm saying? Um, is just foundationally at our core, nobody is the same. Even if you have people in the same family, they still may vary. A mother may be different from a son. A son may be different from a father, in the way that, we need to eat, and we need to, practice how we eat. Because what you eat and how you eat it is very important. Meaning, like, if you eat chicken 3 times a day, if you eat fruits 6 times a day, vegetables 6 times a day, that's just as important, as basically any other component of your whole eating experience. I'm trying so hard to stay away from diet, because I don't want to get the whole idea that it's temporary. I want you to have, a lifestyle change. So, maybe you still eat 4 to 8 times a day, but instead of eating, fast food or fried food, you might eat fruits and vegetables as snacks in between your 3 big meals. And then for your 3 big meals, you portion control, and you eat like maybe a chicken breast, some vegetables. Again, I don't want to dive into what you should eat. I'm just trying to paint a picture for you of what, a lifestyle change may look like. And again, it depends on the goal that you're trying to set for yourself. Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to battle diabetes? Because I've read a lot of research that you can battle diabetes through healthy eating. That's something that runs in my family. So it's another reason that I try to eat healthy, is because I'm battling that demon. Well, I'm not battling it myself right now, but I'm trying to ensure that it's never an issue that I have to run up against, because of my eating habits. Um, but again, it's just knowledge is power. For whatever reason, it's just better to eat right, because the list of benefits goes on and on and on and on. And if you go to any doctor, I'm sure they'll have similar benefits that they'll list, but they'll have different ones as well. Um, Eating healthy is fundamental to life. Um, I mean, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's just that simple. It's Eating healthy is conducive to life, and we can eat ourselves to death if we're not careful. So we need to be cognizant of what we put in our bodies. The key to eating for wellness is not necessarily what food you eat, but rather how and when you eat them. This is the quote made by Suzanne Judd, PhD, Associate Professor in the University of Alabama at Birmingham's Department of Biostatics. I found the quote in an online article titled "Eating for Wellness: Can a Change in Diet Improve Your Health?" I've attached the link to this article in the show notes. So if you want to read the article in its entirety, I would recommend it. It was an awesome article. I learned some more things. The thing about health and wellness is that it's always changing. You know, the information that you get in 2002 is vastly different than the information that we are getting now here in 2021, because we're always learning. At one point in time, if you look back far enough, at one point in time, it was believed that, you know, smoking was good for you and that it opened up your lungs. You would see track runners before races, you know, smoking on cigarettes. You know, we found out through our studies and through education that smoking can lead to cancer. So, I mean, we have to stay updated with this type of stuff. It's not something that you just learn today and then, you know, 5 years from now, the same information applies. It's something that you have to stay abreast to. And granted, there are some like health commandments, like you need to drink water often. But some people will say this much amount, some people will say that much amount. But you need to drink water throughout the day. That's the point. You need to get vitamins and minerals in your body. Some people will say this amount, some people will say that amount. And but there are certain vitamins and minerals that are important that you get in your body on a daily basis, because the lack of those vitamins and minerals can lead to health problems. Um, those are just two of the health commandments. I'm not going to get into the rest because I don't want to start diving deep into specifics, because again, I want you to tailor it to your own experience. This is just passing information out there, getting, you know, just thinking. Dr. Judd goes on further to state, there is no definite right or wrong. It is often a matter of personal taste and unique body chemistry. When you're designing, you know, your lifestyle change, you want to make it something that you don't enjoy, you know, something that you're not going to be committed to, because if you don't enjoy it, if you don't like what you're doing, then you're not going to stick to it. You know, you have to make it something, you have to make it bigger than you first and foremost. You know, you have to have a reason why, just like with everything else. You know, why are you trying to institute this lifestyle change? And then you don't have to be so rigid with it. You know, try to create some type of, you know, fun within it that makes it enjoyable for you. Because if it's enjoyable, studies have proved that we'll be more likely to do it on a consistent basis. And that's what we want to build. We want to build consistent habits, not something that we can do for 8 days or 2 weeks or even a month. We want to build stuff that we can do for like 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years, you know, for the rest of your life. We want to create lifestyle changes and not just diets, you know, because I feel when people say diets, it's a time frame. Like, I'm going on a diet for 30 days or I'm going on a diet for 2 weeks. You know, you want to create a lifestyle change. You want to create a new norm. You know, a new norm. No sodas. That's a new norm. No fried food. That's a new norm. No sweets after 6. That's a new norm. You know, you want to create a new norm so that you can create the lifestyle that you want to live, that you hope to obtain. And we all know that eating the wrong foods can increase your body weight and lead to obesity. And we see through studies and research that they've been putting in the news that morbidity could lead to, obesity could lead to death. You know, being overweight taxes your organs and the structures in your body and stuff like that. So that's not good. That's another way we can eat ourselves to death. I'm feeling lethargic, tired all the time, having low motivation, and a host of other, you know, concepts that manifest itself externally based on the internal environment that we create. I know people that have had headaches because they were eating, you know, the wrong foods, and once they, you know, did a really deep look at, you know, what they were eating and what they were doing, they found out that, hey, this food causes me to have headaches. They cut it out. They're doing much better now. Some people I know have been trying to lose weight. They were like, man, I can't lose weight. I don't know what I'm doing. They cut out sugar. You know, sugar was partially to blame, and now the weight's flying off. Plus changing up things in their workout routine, working smarter and not harder, and that also helped to create that body or that ideal image that they want to attain. And that's the goal of these podcasts. I'm trying to help you work smarter, not harder. And it's a journey, not a destination. So, we're constantly learning. Even information that I put on this podcast, today it applies, and for the next month or a week or a few years it may apply. But we need to stay on our grind and constantly be doing our research. This is just to make us think, to make us view it, and hopefully, do some more research on our own, because this was just a spark, that starts a blaze, and it can lead to a lifestyle change, and forming better habits and becoming a better you. Because at the end of the day, that's the journey, to be every day in every way, to be better than we were the day before. That's the goal. And lastly, we all know what eating healthy can do for you. It increases your energy levels. Studies have shown that diets rich in vitamins and minerals can be associated with lowering risk for mental health disorders. You maintain a healthy weight, and there's a host of other manifestations that are expressed externally from the proper internal environment. Again, I know that you have heard this over and over and over again. I know it's beating a dead horse, and I know some people may not have heard this before, but I'm just trying to give you a spark. You are what you eat. Eating healthy needs to be a part of that web that we're trying to build, a part of the puzzle, because this is a physical example of our internal environment being expressed in our external environment. And if we want to have more motivation to go to the gym, if we want to, have more energy throughout the day, if we want to lose weight and be fit and be able to run 2, 3, 4 miles and stuff like that, we need to practice better life habits in order to create a better lifestyle, or achieve that lifestyle that we desire and that we want to attain.